Welcome everyone to another edition of the Comic Review. My name is Eric, and today we're going to go under the sea to check out the new special from DC Comics for the Rebirth era, and it is going to be Aquaman Rebirth #1. This issue to me was very interesting in the fact that the narrator wasn't one of the main cast. It wasn't Aquaman or any of, or Mera or any of the other Atlanteans. It's a mysterious narrator. We don't know who it is until the end, but it's very interesting because the other books either had the main character narrating it and kind of giving their own origins and everything, or it was narrated by just a faceless narrator kind of going over the origins of these characters. This one was actually done by technically a supporting character. We'll get into that in a little bit when we go talk about the reveal of who it is, but it was very interesting to me the way they framed it, the way they basically, you're seeing Aquaman through the eyes of this other character instead of through his own eyes. Let's go ahead and get into the review and see what's going on in this issue. So as I've been saying, the main meat of this issue is more the narration than anything else. The kind of the action in this issue is more or less framed by the narrative, the narrator's opinions and everything on the character. I will say the one weak spot is if you have read Jeff Johns' Aquaman at the start of the New 52, this issue kind of treads the same water, so to speak. We get a lot of mentions in here of Aquaman not belonging to either the surface world or Atlantis, his own feelings of being an outcast in both worlds. We get a glimpse into his life with Mera, his, I guess, fiance now. We don't touch up on any of the proposal from the DC Rebirth special in this one, but yeah, I guess now it is his fiance. We also see glimpses of the way the world at large sees Aquaman. You know, they see him either as this like would-be conqueror who is basically in the middle of all these various invasions from Atlantis over the last 5 years of comics. They also see him as the goofy Super Friends guy who talks to fish, even though I think it's the narrator, even makes the comment that technically it's a telepathic link and that technically the fish don't even talk to him. The fish won't even speak to him when referring to how Atlantis itself kind of views Aquaman. The main story that Aquaman's doing in this whole book is he is fighting it's either the deluge or the Bulge. I have no idea how to pronounce the word. It's one of those things where it's like you see a word all the time, but then for some reason when you go to say the word, you just have no idea how to actually pronounce it or what the proper pronouncing is. But I believe it's called the Deluge. They are I'm just going to now refer to them as the Atlantean terrorist cell that's completely xenophobic, and they are attacking Aquaman and Atlantis at this point in the story. So the book kind of jumps at various points, basically due to the narration of showing the fight and then showing Mera and some of Aquaman's other subjects talking about him, and then it goes to like a TV interview where they're discussing Atlantis, various invasions by Atlantis over the time of the New 52. Talking about how much of a joke Aquaman is because of the fact that, you know, he's just the guy that talks to fish, which is a lot of what the real world thinks of that character, mostly because of his appearances in Super Friends back in the day. And so it's just very interesting to see that people in the DC universe still have that opinion of him. I know that was a big part of Jeff Johns' run, especially toward the beginning of it, of showing that people kind of just view Arthur as the guy who talks to fish. Not sure why he's even part of the Justice League when that's all he does. We get a little bit of the mention of what was going on previously in Aquaman. This book was written by Dan Abnett, who was the writer who took over Aquaman, I believe, at issue number 48 or 49. I think it was 49. He had taken over the book, which I was kind of glad at. I actually recently, to get ready for this review, had to binge read the last year's worth of Aquaman books, so I was that far behind in some of my reading. So yeah, I didn't care for the story from 41 to 48 really, because I just thought it was preposterous, but I did like the writing going into 49 and on to the end of New 52. So again, this is one of the few books where they did not change the writer going into the new status quo of the Rebirth era. So a few things get established in this book, such as the new embassy that Atlantis built in Amnesty Bay, as their connection to the surface world, with Arthur trying to more connect Atlantis to the surface world, trying to be more diplomatic, trading information, which is a noble effort on his part, because throughout the course of the New 52, there has been a lot of mistrust with Atlantis going both ways. So it's interesting to see the take take on trying to resolve that plot point. And it's a nice, interesting way of creating more drama for this book, more drama for, Aquaman and the surface world and Atlantis both. We get to the end of the book and we find out that Arthur is being watched, very similar, I guess, to the Detective Comics 934 reveal where Batman and the whole crew are being watched. But someone is keeping tabs on Arthur, and it is the narrator, who we do find out is Black Manta. As far as I know, I'm not 100% sure, Black Manta actually has not been seen, I don't think, in the Aquaman books since Forever Evil ended. So I think it's interesting that once again they're bringing up Black Manta's quest to rid the world of Aquaman, saying that he's a murderer and his life's purpose is going to be completed. Pretty sure we did this story already in the New 52 and the Vast, but I guess it's one of the things with serialized fiction that, you do have to keep on bringing back some of these villains over and over again, kind of doing the same things over and over again. It's just the new ways to which they do it. So it's going to be interesting to see what this new take on Black Manta is going to be in the New 52. So I'm looking forward to that, just to see how it goes. Aquaman was kind of one of the books that was on my drop list at one point, so I'm definitely going to give this one at least one arc to just show me what they've got going, just because again this one is on my list of books that I may not continue with going into the Rebirth era. I got the entire run of New 52. Aquaman really wasn't a character I read prior to the New 52, so I enjoyed for the most part the New 52 line. So like I said, Rebirth's going to have to do something spectacular in order to get me to stay on after the first arc. So let me know what you guys think of this issue. Did you enjoy the storyline so far? Are you looking forward to what's going to be going on in Aquaman? Are you excited about the return of Black Manta? I believe he finally got himself a pop figure, so that might show up here sooner or later. Did you enjoy the look back on Aquaman through the eyes of Black Manta, kind of seeing basically things we've seen before with the surface world's opinion on Aquaman, especially in Jeff Johns' run? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts and everything, and I want to thank you guys for tuning into this video. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, check me out on social media, and I will see you guys in the next review. Later.